We as photographers are storytellers. We use our images as little vignettes of our experiences and our adventures. We use things like light and composition to let the viewer into our world, to let them experience what we do through our creative vision. Photography can be a lot of things: an art, a trade, or just documentation. But it can also be a story. A story doesn't have to be an epic novel. It started a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It can be simple. It can invoke a feeling, or a mood, or a sense of adventure. It can also allow the viewer to create their own story. To quote the great Ansel Adams, there are always two people in every picture, the photographer and the viewer. Hey guys, this video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to sit down and just kind of have a chat with you guys about this subject of storytelling in photography, and especially travel photography. Now, I recently went to Hawaii a few months ago, and I never really documented on this channel what I did there and the experience that I had, so I really wanted to take this time to show a few of my photographs and tell you guys kind of how I went about creating a story through these images. Now, when I was there, it was actually during the Kilauea Volcano eruption. I was able to take a helicopter up above the eruption while the volcano was going off, and then take a boat tour as the lava was flowing into the ocean. And obviously a really unique and once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I wanted to take a few of those images, like I said, and tell you how I created a story, and hopefully you guys can take something away from some of these images. I want to kind of just give you guys a little bit outside the box thinking as far as improving your photography and what you guys can do to make your images more compelling. And storytelling is a great way to do it. Now, every image is not going to be a story. That's incredibly difficult to do. But what I want you guys to take away from this is really think about creating a story, whether it's one image or a set of images, but also providing, you know, the viewer with a sense of adventure, or being able to have them put themselves into the story. So this first image here is of the actual fissure 8. This actually sprouted up in the middle of a neighborhood. Now this is actually a pretty obvious story. This story is all about the human element versus nature. There was just a violent, destructive volcano in the middle of a residential neighborhood. It's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. As violent and as destructive as it was absolutely beautiful. You know, you can see the houses around the volcano itself. You can see the lava coming out, and it's a really impactful image, I think, just because of what exactly is going on. This, to me, is one of the most impactful of this entire series. Now, what I'm trying to show you guys here is I created a series of images that can make the story. Also, each one of these images can also be a story on its own, but my idea was to create an overall picture of what is going on the island of Hawaii during this Kilauea eruption. So you can see here, you got the river flowing right next to a house. You got the lava cooling literally feet from this house. You get the existing river channel flowing right by the house. You have all this lava cooled, but you got this house that's still standing. Once again, this is that nature versus human aspect. Kind of gives scale to what's going on and how people were affected. So this, like I said, this image itself can be a story. I mean, obviously you can see it's just an incredible sight to see, like really emotional. You can see here the destruction of what it caused, but also how beautiful it can be. This photo is really about letting the viewer feel exactly what I was experiencing. I could literally smell the sulfur from the helicopter during this shot. The fog over the landscape, you got the golden light coming in, shining and really accentuating the ash, and you can see the fumes and just everything coming up off the ground with the heat and the lava, you know, that golden light onto the lava river itself, and just the smoldering gases and the sunrise light just really kind of just shows you where that lava is going, flowing out towards the ocean. And it's a good image to show the scale. This provides a mood. That's what the story is about in this photo, really allowing the viewer to put themselves there. They can, you know, smelling those gases, being there and seeing this lava flowing out to the ocean like that in the golden light. This image here, Lava in the Clouds, is one of my favorites. I was up above in the helicopter right over the lava entry, and as the lava flowed into the ocean, it created this gigantic fuming cloud. And at this particular spot, the clouds kind of formed around the lava, and you can see it kind of frames it. So I took this shot. I saw it from the helicopter, you know, I took this shot. It was just One of those shots that are really impactful. I love this. Like I said, this is one of my favorite images from this trip. This one is taken from a boat. Now, this is where the lava entered the ocean and then it created a pyrocumulus cloud, thousands of feet in the air. This is how the Hawaiian Islands were created. So this here, this shows scale. It's a raw emotion of what exactly is going on with the two elements, and when they collide, like just the raw power of this place is just, it's absolutely amazing. To be able to see this and see how big it is, it's just absolutely stunning. The same spot as we just saw before with that wide pyrocumulus cloud, but this is taken with a long lens from the boat. As we got up really close to the edge, you can see the actual lava flowing into the water here. Now, this is more of a detail shot, and the story is quite obvious and it's very impactful. It's such a violent and destructive scene, but it's so beautiful. You can just kind of see here, this island is literally being created in this image. All right, guys, so now I know we can't always have like a once-in-a-lifetime event that you can use to kind of tell a story. So what I want to do now is I want to take a few of my other images that I've taken here in the last few months, and I want to show you guys how I was able to take those scenes and kind of create their own little story. Now, this first image was taken in Shiprock, New Mexico. This shot here with the horse really helps me tell an actual story. It's very simplistic, but very impactful. This image lets the viewer create their own story about the horse. What's the horse doing? Where is it going? It gives a sense of solitude and mystery. This next image was taken in northern Arizona. I had a buddy of mine grab my blue jacket and provide a little color contrast because of the red landscape and the blue jacket. Kind of makes it a little more visually appealing. And then what I did was I had him go up and I had him stand right in the middle of this landscape, this giant, just really unique landscape, and to give it a little bit of scale. And what this does is allows the viewer to place themselves where my friend is standing and put themselves there, like, okay, what would it be like to be here? What would it feel like to be in that spot? Let them create their own story. Now, this last image is the same idea. This was taken in a beautiful canyon in Arizona as the sun was rising. Now, I had taken a few other landscape shots of this. As the sun started to come up, what really makes this photo stand out is I dropped down a little bit and found that edge of the canyon where I wanted to stand, able to skyline myself. And I had my wireless trigger. I sprinted around the edge of the canyon, and I stood up on this rock to make sure that I was skylined so I wouldn't get lost in the background, and made sure that you can see me really clearly, but also give a sense of scale to this image. Now, this definitely invokes a sense of adventure. It lets the viewer place themselves right in the spot where I'm standing, so what it would be like to stand in that exact spot watching the sunrise over that beautiful canyon. So guys, now not every image is going to be this big giant epic story, or not every time you go out is going to be one of those once in a lifetime flying over an erupting volcano. But what I wanted to kind of do with this video, like I said, it's always about improving your photography. It's something to keep in mind, to think outside the box, and if you can create a story through your images, whether it's one image or whether it's a set of images, something to just make your images more compelling is really what I want you to take away from this video. So like always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.